Soft wind. A heartbeat fades in. Slow footsteps echo through silence. Voiceover VO. The sun rises one last time. On a world about to change forever? Cut 2 quick flashes, Jerusalem's skyline at dawn. A shadow moving across stone streets. Whispers of crowds waiting. VO. He knew what was coming. The pain, the betrayal, the cross. Yet, he walked forward. The music swells, a single violin note trembling with emotion. VO. This is not just another day. This is the day love faced death and did not turn away. Screen fades to black with a flash of light. Soft light filters through dusty air. The camera moves slowly, showing hands breaking bread, faces half in shadow. VO. The city wakes in silence. But the heavens are holding their breath. Every sound, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a dove, feels like the calm before a storm. Visuals cut between Roman soldiers preparing their armor and disciples sitting quietly, unaware of what's about to unfold. VO. Jesus rises before dawn. His eyes are tired, but his heart is steady. He looks out toward the hills where it all began. The same hills where he once taught the crowds, healed the broken, and lifted the hopeless. Faint memory plays. Jesus smiling at children, touching a blind man's eyes, calling Lazarus from the tomb. VO. But today is different. The time has come. Every prophecy, every step, every word leading here. Slow zoom on Jesus' silhouette as light shines behind him. His robe moves in the wind. VO. He walks to his disciples. Each one still half asleep, unaware this is their last morning together. He breaks the silence, not with fear, not with sadness, but with peace. Soft, calm music swells. Jesus gentle, calm. The hour has come. Let us go. VO. The words are simple, but they carry the weight of eternity. Every heartbeat echoes those words. Let us go. To the garden. To the trial. To the cross. Visuals fade between the glowing sunrise and Jesus leading the way through narrow paths, the light casting long shadows behind him. VO. The final journey begins, not with swords or armies, but with surrender. With love that refuses to run away. The music swells softly, then fades into silence, leaving only the sound of footsteps on stone. Thunder rolls faintly in the distance. The camera glides over Jerusalem, crowded, restless, alive. The wind carries whispers through narrow streets. Every face hides a question. Every shadow hides a choice. VO. Last night, the city cheered his name. Today, the same voices plot against him. Hope and hate now breathe the same air. Quick flashes. Jesus entering Jerusalem on a donkey, palm leaves waving, children smiling. Then the sound fades, replaced by the echo of angry voices, the Pharisees whispering. Judas watching from afar. VO. The crowds once called him king. The rulers called him threat. The disciples called him friend. But even friends can tremble when the truth demands more than love. It demands sacrifice. Slow pan to Judas, standing in the shadows of the temple. A bag of silver clinks in his hand. His eyes flicker between faith and fear. VO. He walks a road that splits in two, one path toward loyalty, the other toward betrayal. And he already knows which one his feet will choose. Cut to Peter sharpening a blade. His hands tremble. His heart burns with pride. VO. Peter swears he will never fall. He promises to fight. But he doesn't see how the fight will come, not with swords, but with silence. Music builds softly, low strings, slow drums, the feeling of gathering clouds. VO. Every disciple carries a secret. Every look, a question they dare not ask. What will happen when he no longer stands beside them? Show Mary watching from a window, tears reflecting the sunrise. She knows. She always knows, VO. Even she feels it, the heaviness of heaven. The air tastes different today. The light feels thinner. Something divine is about to break. The wind rises. Temple bells echo faintly as Jesus walks through the crowd. People turn. Some reach out. Some look at Wivo. And still, he moves with calm purpose. No fear, no anger, just peace. A peace that burns brighter than the fear around him. Camera follows behind Jesus, faceless, distant. The city fading behind him like a dream. Every step writes history. Every silence speaks louder than any king's command. The storm is here, and he walks straight into it. Lightning flashes briefly, fade to black. The next sound is the slow, steady beat of a heart. Soft morning light spills through an open doorway. Dust floats in the air like tiny stars. The world feels slower now, as if creation itself is holding its breath. He knew this would be his last sunrise. The last time he'd feel the warmth of light on his face. The last time he'd walk among those he came to save. The camera moves through small moments. A loaf of bread broken in two, water poured into a cup, sandals placed by the door. Every simple act feels eternal. Each step, each breath, each heartbeat carried the weight of the world. Yet his eyes still held peace, not fear, because he was not walking toward death. He was walking toward destiny. Cut 2, the disciples sitting quietly, faces heavy with unspoken questions. Jesus moves among them, placing a gentle hand on each shoulder. He looked at his friends, men who left everything to follow him. Fishermen, doubters, dreamers. They didn't understand what was coming. They didn't have to. Love never waits for understanding, it simply gives. The sound fades to a soft heartbeat. Jesus breaks bread. The camera focuses on his hands, steady, calm, certain. This was not just a meal. It was a promise. A covenant sealed not in gold, but in sacrifice. The screen flashes to the wine being poured deep red, glowing in the candlelight. Jesus softly, "This is my blood." Poured out for many, the disciples lowered their eyes. The weight of his words fills the room. He spoke of life through death, of freedom through surrender, of love that would never end, even when the world turned away. Music swells softly, a mix of sorrow and holiness. In that small upper room, history paused. Heaven leaned closer, and the Son of Man prepared to do what no king, no prophet, no warrior ever could save the world by giving himself. The camera pans upward. The light flickers like the final breath of a candle. This was the day the earth would tremble. This was the day heaven would weep. This was his last day. Fade to black. A faint echo of a heartbeat remains. The candle flickers out. The room grows silent. Only the sound of sandals brushing against stone remains. The night has come, and with it, the whisper of betrayal. The camera glides through dark alleyways, shadows stretching long across the ground. The moonlight cuts through thin clouds, cold and distant. Outside the walls, silver changes hands. Inside, a heart breaks in silence. Judas walks faster, clutching the coins that shine brighter than his faith. A slow shot of Judas's trembling hands, silver glinting like tears. He tells himself, it's for justice, for a cause. But deep inside, he knows this is the cost of turning away from truth. Cut to Jesus walking into the night with his disciples. The world around them feels heavier, darker. The wind carries a strange stillness. He leads them to the garden, a place of prayer, a place of surrender. The same hands that raised the dead now tremble, not in fear, but in love that cannot stop giving. Close-up of Jesus kneeling in the dirt. Sweat glistens on his forehead like drops of blood. Jesus whispering, "Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me, yet not my will, but yours." The sound of rain begins to fall light at first, then heavier, blending with the soft hum of strings. Heaven listens. Earth waits. Even the angels dare not move. The world's hope kneels in the dust, praying for those who would soon betray him. Cut to the disciples asleep beneath olive trees. Their faces peaceful, unaware that eternity is unfolding only feet away. VO. He asked them to stay awake, to watch, to pray. But even the faithful grow weary when love demands too much. Faint rustle in the distance, torches flicker through the trees. The sound of armor clinks. The shadows grow larger. VO, and then footsteps, voices, the sound of chains. The darkness has found him. Music shifts sharply. Drums beat like a heartbeat. A torch flame fills the screen. VO. Betrayal wears a familiar face. A kiss, not a sword, becomes the weapon that begins it all. Slow motion. Judas steps forward. Jesus looks at him calm, unshaken. Jesus softly. Friend, do what you came for. The soldiers move in. The world holds its breath. VO. And love does not run. It stands. Lightning flashes, the screen turns white, then fades to black. The night erupts. Torches flare. Steel clashes. Shouts echo through the garden like thunder across the HILLSVO. The moment has come. Heaven watches as the Son of God stands alone. The camera shows hands grabbing Jesus' arms, soldiers pulling him away. Disciples scatter into the trees, their footsteps lost in the noise. VO. Fear breaks them apart. Faith trembles in the dark. The same hearts that swore to die beside him now run from his side. Cut to Peter, wild eyes, trembling hands, drawing his sword and striking. The blade flashes, blood falls, silence follows. VO. In anger. Peter fights for love, not knowing love does not fight back. Jesus turns, steady eyes filled with sorrow and strength. He reaches out and heals the wounded man's ear. The world seems to pause around him. VO. They think they're taking a prisoner, but he's leading them to freedom. Flash montage. The cross being carved, the crown of thorns prepared, Mary collapsing to her knees in prayer, Peter weeping in the shadows. VO. Every prophecy, every word, every miracle now meets its purpose in a single night. Camera pans upward, lightning cracks across the sky, revealing the outline of a cross-shaped shadow on a nearby hill. VO. The light of the world walks into darkness, so the world would never have to. Music swells, voices of a choir rising softly behind the storm. A faint heartbeat echoes beneath the sound. VO. This is not the end. This is the beginning of everything. Storm fades to silence. A soft glow of dawn peeks over the horizon. Fade to black. Silence. The storm has passed. The rain slows to a whisper. The garden is empty. Only footprints in the mud, fading under soft light. VO. The night has done its worst. But even now, the light returns. A single drop of water falls from a leaf, catching the sunrise. The screen glows golden. Soft choir voices rise, faint at first, distant, like memory. VO. They took him in chains, but no chain could hold what he carried. They silenced his voice, but his words still echo through time. Slow shots, the empty garden, the broken bread left on the table, the cross-shaped shadow stretching across the earth. VO. Every wound, every tear, every drop of blood, not a mark of loss, but a promise kept. Cut to Mary standing beneath the gray sky. Her face is hidden, but her trembling hands clutch the edge of his robe. The camera lingers on the fabric, torn, soaked, sacred. VO. She does not see defeat. She sees love. Finishing its work, music rises softly, violins and voices blending into warmth and sorrow. VO. The world thinks this is the end. Heaven knows. It's only the beginning. The camera moves slowly toward the sunrise, the horizon glowing brighter with every note. VO. Because when the Son of God gives his last breath, the world takes its first. Flash to a bright flare of light, blinding, beautiful. Then the screen fades to darkness. Text appears slowly across the black. Screen. On-screen text. The Chosen Season 6, A faint echo of a heartbeat returns. Steady. A live dot on screen text. The final path begins. The music swells one last time. A powerful chord that feels like both ending and resurrection. VO. The day of sorrow becomes the dawn of salvation. Fade completely too. Black on-screen text whispered. Coming soon. Fade in slowly. Faint. Light glows behind a cross-shaped silhouette. The last echoes of the choir fade into stillness. VO soft, reflective. This story has been told 1,000 times, but never like this. Visuals, hands washing blood from the ground, the shadow of the cross on stone, the sunrise slowly rising over a silent hill. VO. Season 6 does not begin with miracles. It begins with the moment the world thought they had ended them. Music swells, strings, heartbeat rhythm, faint echoes of scripture. Oh, it's not just a story of death. It's a story of love, too strong to die. Visual style, faceless storytelling. Show only silhouettes, hands, reflections, and light, never full faces. Let the emotion live in shadows, movement, and color. Lighting, golden dawns, cold blues, and torchlit nights, every color should carry meaning. Transitions, use slow fades, cross dissolves, and heartbeat paced cuts that rise with the narration. Symbolism. Bread, wine, water, fire, and wind. Nature itself reacts to his journey. Voice and sound voice. Calm, deep, emotional. Not preaching storytelling with reverence. Every word should feel like prophecy and poetry. Soundscape. Begin with silence and whispers. Grow into thunder and heartbeats. End in light and calm. Music. Minimal piano and strings at first, building to an epic orchestral swell, and fading into soft choir tones. Final message, the camera slowly pans toward the sunrise. A bright white light fills the screen. Oh, this is not the end of his story. It's the beginning of ours. On-screen text glows in gold. The Chosen, Season 6. The final path begins. The music fades into the sound of wind and one final heartbeat. VO whispered, "Are you ready to walk with him?" One last time. Fade to black. Silence.